Here's the truth. Referral-based business isn't a strategy. It's a stall. I used to say, I'm growing my business by referrals. See, that's really how entrepreneurs hide their fear of going out there, cold calling and prospecting for new leads. They call it wisdom, right? You're not being smart. You're playing small. And you're going to be paying the price unless you change. If you keep calling your fear strategy, you'll spend the next 5 years watching people with half your talent out-earn and out-impact you simply because they had the courage to go out to market. See, the greatest illusion in business is that you can build a scalable company without learning how to invest in your growth, particularly in sales. You can't. When I started my first company, the commercial cleaning business, I thought I was going to be wise by spending as little as possible. I told myself, once I make more money, then I'll go ahead and spend more. That's not wisdom. That's fear disguised as logic. You see, growth doesn't come from what you save. It comes from what you circulate. Think about the word money. Money is called currency. Currency, money, is made to circulate. That's the meaning of the word. The market doesn't reward tight-fisted business leaders. It rewards open hands. That's what it rewards. Every dollar you withhold in fear tells the marketplace that you don't trust yourself. You are operating from scarcity energy, from lack and from limitation. It's kind of the same idea of, saving for a rainy day. What does that mean? Well, it means that I'm saving money for one day when I'll have no value to bring. If you're going to save for a rainy day, go buy an umbrella because it's going to rain on your parade. Here's what most business owners never admit: that they're addicted to the comfort of being needed. They're addicted to the comfort of being needed. They're addicted to just allowing the market to come to them. See, referrals feel good. They can stroke our ego. Someone thinks of you, calls you, and business falls right into your lap. Isn't that nice? But that's certainly not entrepreneurship or leadership. That's hope. That's dependency on the market for your business. See, when your business model is built on the hope that somebody else remembers you or is going to be so impressed with you that they're going to spend their most precious resource, which is their reputation, and then refer you, you're not scaling, you're surviving. See, the people who grow are the ones who say, I'm not waiting on permission. I'm not waiting for someone else to see my value and then communicate my value to the marketplace. I'm going to learn to buy their attention, to buy their visibility, to buy customers' profitability, and to earn my place in the marketplace. I'm going to pay for the leads. I'm going to pay for the opportunity. I'm not going to just sit by and wait it organically develop. Let's get clear on something. Marketing is not gambling. Marketing is stewardship of really your most precious resource, your time and your treasure. It's the management of a valuable commodity called attention. Attention in the marketplace. See, every single day, your market is spending attention somewhere. Now, once you can identify where they're spending it, that's a great place to market. That's a great place for you to advertise. The only question for you is, are they spending their attention? Are they spending that discretionary goodwill of their focus and attention, of their engagement? Are they focusing it on you? See, you don't need to guess your way to growth. You need to understand the math behind it. Success really does leave clues. See, what's the cost? What's the income for your average order value? What's the average order that comes into you? What's the value of that? What's the value of a customer? What's your cost to acquire that customer? So for me in the cleaning business, my average clean was $58. When I was running a Yellow Page ad, my acquisition cost was about $12. So how much are you willing to pay to get one client's profitability? That's it. This isn't an emotional process. There's mathematical proof of whether you're thinking like a hobbyist or you're thinking like a leader and entrepreneur. When you know all of your numbers, when you know the value of a client, your acquisition cost, the profitability, you stop fearing the market and you start leveraging it. When you really understand your numbers, your internal numbers, then you can say that sales is a numbers game. But I see people who have no idea what their numbers are say, well, sales is a numbers game. Well, what are the numbers? What's the game? See, knowing the numbers, that confidence comes from knowing what the numbers tell you the truth is. See, you'll never outperform your own self-concept, how you see yourself, how you value yourself. And that includes what you believe about your business model, about the structure that you're operating under. If you believe that, spending money on marketing is risky, you'll keep reinforcing that limitation all the way through all of your choices. See, the entrepreneur who knows their numbers doesn't fear the cost, doesn't fear the cost of marketing, doesn't fear the cost of the investment in their own growth. They become a steward of that. They become a steward of the return. They become a steward of all their resources. Now, look, before you go any further, I want you to pause, and I want you to get access to the Martinelli Sales Mastery mini course, especially the section on how to close with confidence. Because let's be honest, this isn't about math. It's about mindset. And most entrepreneurs are stuck. They're stuck in their mindset. They're not stuck because of strategy. They're stuck because they hesitate when it's time to invest, when it's time to ask for the deal. They're stuck when it's time to go and lead their team and lead the growth. And that hesitation, that uncertainty, it leads into every single sales interaction, every conversation. You're going to learn how to rewire your beliefs around money, your worthiness, and rejection, and how to move from pitching to closing with real authority. So grab it in the link right below in the description. We're not just fixing your follow through. We're talking about upgrading the version of you who's doing the selling. Remember this, you can't build expansion and abundance with a blueprint for scarcity. You can't grow what you keep protecting. So many people have these non-negotiable non-starters. If your primary goal is not to lose, you are already limited about how much you can gain. See, for years, I lived under what I called a poverty paradigm. I thought the smartest person in the room was the one who could squeeze the most out of the least. That kind of scarcity, that kind of limited thinking only builds smallness. You will never break through ceilings by conserving. You can never save your way rich. You break income ceilings by committing and taking really bold steps forward in the direction of your dream, regardless of the price that you have to pay. See, when you're willing to reinvest back into your business, you're not losing money. You're multiplying belief in yourself. You're declaring, I trust myself more. And every business that scales does this. That's what they do. They invest in the owner's growth first. I'm going to tell you what, your business results are a reflection of your mindset. Nothing more, nothing less. If you expand your belief in what's possible, you expand the business that serves that possibility. I tell entrepreneurs, don't let business make you small-minded. Don't let business make you small-minded. The purpose of a business isn't to play it safe. It's to walk into the roulette of life, to walk into the casino of life and bet all the chips on you. It's to play with the full expression of your true potential. So let's talk about what most people miss. You don't need more customers. What you need is more value per customer. See, when you can increase your average order value, You increase your freedom. You can afford to advertise more, test more, reach more, pay your people more without losing margin. See, this is where intelligent scaling begins. Every time you add value through the upsell, a deeper offer, a bundled solution, what you're doing is you're buying yourself more opportunity. That's how you scale smart. You reinvest the value that you've already earned. And I'm going to tell you what, the only appreciable asset that you will ever own is you. You are the best investment you will ever make. But this requires that you stop identifying as a small business. Stop calling yourself a small business. You're a leader building something big. Act like it. If we think about what rapport is not about know, like, and trust. Rapport is about you being an authority. It's you being an expert, being seen that way. That you have so much absolute certainty in who you are, the value you bring, that the person naturally likes you. They naturally trust you. They naturally want to do business with you. You're a business leader in the process of expansion. When I hear entrepreneurs say, I just can't afford marketing. What I really hear is I don't yet trust my ability to multiply it. I used to run around, people say, what do you do? Well, I own a small commercial cleaning business. Oh, geez, I never heard of your company. Of course they never heard of my company. I never marketed my company. I was afraid to put an ad in the Yellow Pages. My first ad in the Yellow Pages was a simple line in black and white. When I sold the business, I had half page, full color, under 6 categories in multiple Yellow Pages. That's the shift. That's the shift. You got to move from asking yourself, can I afford this? To asking, can I afford not to do this? Can I afford not to learn these lessons? Can I afford not to make this investment? Here's the truth. Staying safe, playing, not to lose will cost you more than making an investment in yourself, in your business, in your marketing, in your sales ever will. If you refuse to market, your competition will outspend, outreach, and outlast you, not because they're better, but because they're braver. Growth is not a marketing issue. It's not. It's not a lead issue. It's a mindset issue. The strategy, it's simple. Know your numbers. Trust your math. Reinvest your margin. Lead from belief, not fear. See, I believe this with every single thing in me. It's why I invest the time to make these videos. I can't tell you the number of people. So why do you give, you teach everything? Why do you give all your teaching away? If you understand abundance, if you understand prosperity, you couldn't possibly give enough away. The world doesn't need more cautious entrepreneurs. It needs more courageous ones. How can you ever make an investment in a program with me if you don't first get to meet me this way, if you don't get to hear me and see me? And no, hold it, this guy's no BS. This guy's the real deal. I mean, if this guy's willing to pour into this for free, imagine what happens when you write the guy a check. See, money flows towards confidence and away from doubt every single time. So if you want more of it, start showing that you can handle it. Start showing that, you're mature with it. You can't expand a business while protecting your comfort zone. The minute you stop calling fear a plan, your real growth is going to begin. Every ceiling you've ever hit in business was built by your own belief. That's what you're meeting. You're not meeting market resistance. You're meeting internal belief resistance. Referrals feel safe because they don't require you to stretch. But scaling requires faith, expressed through investment. Growth isn't a mystery. It's a mirror. And your business will always rise to the level of your self-trust. The question isn't whether you can afford to invest in marketing or invest in your growth. It's whether you can afford to stay small for another year. Now, again, before you go, make sure that you've grabbed the Martinelli Sales Mastery Mini Course, because here's the truth. Your business will never rise higher than your confidence all throughout the sales process. This free training walks you through the mindset and mechanics of taking your prospect from start all the way to finish and closing with elegance, closing with a posture, without sounding pushy or playing small or needy. Click the link, grab the course, and watch the next video, How Successful Entrepreneurs Manage Time, the 1,000-minute rule. This is going to give you the time management hacks that top entrepreneurs use to get more results in the same 24 hours that you have. I'll see you on the other side.